Hey guys, welcome back to the channel and this week's episode of Tim Recommends. This week I have 6 different films that I give my personal stamp of recommendation on. I tried to create a good mix of different genres, so hopefully there's something here for everybody. As usual, I'll list all the timestamps here on the screen as well as in the description below, in case you wanted to jump to any one movie in particular. There's some action, some thrillers, some award winners, something here for just about anybody. So without further ado, let's get started. I'll meet you in the recording chair. To start things off, we have Together.
I am a little nervous. I've thought a lot more about being a dad than I've thought about making conversation with the person carrying my baby.
Right. Well, I'm nervous too.
To my sperm, to the donor's egg, and to your uterus. Cheers.
Cheers.
Dad.
What happens when a single, middle-aged, well-to-do man wants to have a child of his own? Well, he hires a surrogate.
Does that bother you, Matt?
Ed Helms and Patty Harrison kindle the perfect, unique blend of chemistry needed for this part romantic, part comedy, part parenting, part something all its own kind of film. An earnest exploration of parenting, friendship, family, aging, and everything in between. Written and directed by Nicole Beckwith, the film is gingerly paced, never lingering too long, and peppered with plenty of funny, witty, yet completely unpretentious dialogue.
At some point, you will give birth to a child, and then what happens? Just because you're not together doesn't mean that you haven't created a bond.
A film that challenges some very base notions of how we assume life should be lived and how a family should be constructed. Together is open, warm, honest, hilarious, and refreshing. Things Heard and Seen. Set in 1980, a young couple moves from New York City to the upstate countryside in order to pursue the husband's dream job of teaching art history at a university. Upon arriving at their 100-year-old farmhouse, the wife begins to discover eerie bumps in the night, keeping them awake. Further exploring the town and community, it becomes clear there is more to this place than meets the eye. As an avid horror fan myself, I was concerned this would end up being another run-of-the-mill haunted farmhouse flick, but was pleasantly surprised by its unique plot, noteworthy cinematography, and solid performances brought forth by an excellent cast. The film's steady tempo and numerous interesting plot twists culminate in a fresh and unique ending that sets it apart from your average forgettable horror thriller.
My wife is the true believer of the family. You do not want to get us started on all that stuff.
Another round. 4 friends and colleagues find themselves in a fine dining establishment one night, trapped in the throes of a particularly harrowing midlife crisis. Their lifestyles have become humdrum, lacking in any flavor or spice. One of them mentions a famous Norwegian psychiatrist's theory that humans live with a blood alcohol content that is 0.05% too low. What first starts as mere conversation becomes actualized experimentation when Martin, played by Mads Mikkelsen, decides to investigate on his own. Relaying his findings to the others, the foursome dives headfirst into murky waters, towing the line between harmless fun and crippling alcoholism. Another round draws inspiration from existentialist philosopher Kierkegaard, documenting these friends' attempt to reinvigorate their now lackluster everyday lives. What follows is a wild ride from start to finish, characterized by brilliant writing, direction, and performances. The resulting film is a striking, poignant, and thought-provoking rendition of an often confusing, sometimes troubling, and frequently hilarious experiment conducted by 4 40-something high school teachers. Mads Mikkelsen gives a truly masterful performance behind the brilliant direction of Thomas Vinterberg. I can't recommend this film enough. One of my favorites in recent memory. Army of the Dead. Army of the Dead knows what it is and doesn't shy away from it. You're here to see zombie-smashing action in a high-budget, high-scale production, and this film hits on every note. A top-secret government operation goes awry, and Las Vegas is overtaken by a freakishly strong and intelligent zombie overlord. Scorpion calls up his old buddy Drax, who is now flipping burgers, for a top-secret, super special mission. Recover $200 million from his casino's ultra-secure underground safe. Build your own team and risk it all for the payday of a lifetime. At first glance, this may seem like another big, dumb, blockbuster zombie flick, but Zack Snyder manages to elevate it beyond a typical smash and grab. While it certainly isn't Oscar bait, the writing and pacing are quick, clever, and they treat the audience with respect. Performances are solid, the plot actually makes enough sense, and flows well within the scheme of the film. Army of the Dead delivers on every zombie-killing promise and then some.
They're smarter. They're faster. They're organized.
Oh, and did I mention Zombie Tiger?
It's a goddamn zombie tiger. That's crossing the line.
I'm Anna Fox. There are some things that need to be said about me. I have an anxiety disorder.
The Woman in the Window. Reminiscent of Hitchcock's classic Rear Window, this thriller follows agoraphobic child psychologist Anna Fox as she attempts to navigate life as a separated wife and mother, living alone, tethered to the walls of a New York apartment. On the verge of a nervous breakdown, she is constantly in a fugue state, an unidentifiable cocktail of various pills and alcohols coursing through her veins. What else is she to do all day but peek through her numerous large windows, spying on her across-the-street neighbors? Told from Anna's unreliable perspective, the film throws twist
I'm Jane Russell.
after twist
I've never met my wife.
as her story, background, and seemingly unending trauma unfold on screen.
Mr. Russell believes that you made a mistake.
Amy Adams presents a noteworthy, believable account of a manic, depressive woman, confused and disoriented by her past, her mind, and the revolving door of drugs she constantly self-medicates with. Each turn will leave you guessing in this genuinely entertaining thriller. Nomadland.
My mom says that you're homeless. Is that true?
No, I'm not homeless. I'm just houseless. Not the same thing, right?
No.
Winner of ample prestigious awards, and for good reason. Nomadland is insightful, melancholic, and poignant.
Yes, ma'am, I know. And they sometimes call you nomads.
A story of transition, of adapting. Fern, a woman in her 60s, has been relegated to the sidelines, all but forgotten by society. Set in 2011, she is a casualty of the Great Recession. Shortly after losing her husband, she has also lost her job, her home, and her way of life, due to the closing of Nevada's U.S. gypsum plant. With nothing left, she packs the remains of her life into a converted van and assumes the nomad lifestyle. Travel the countryside, work odd jobs, and meet friends and companions along the way.
My dad used to say, what's remembered lives. I maybe spent too much of my life just remembering.
A beautifully directed film with phenomenal cinematography, spearheaded by the truly spectacular performance of Frances McDormand. Nomadland is essentially a can't miss.
One of the things I love most about this life is that there's no final goodbye. Let's just say I'll see you down the road.
Hey, welcome back. Hope you enjoyed this week's episode of Tim Recommends. All 6 of these films I really enjoyed and got something a little bit different from all of them. This is officially the 4th episode of Tim Recommends. So if you're looking for some other stuff to watch, read, or play, try and check out one of the first 3 episodes, where I go over Disco Elysium, BoJack Horseman, or a slew of other books, shows, movies, and anime. If you enjoyed the video, enjoyed the format, give it a thumbs up, let me know. Let me know if there are some films that I should check out. recent or otherwise. I'm always looking for some good cinema to get into. If there's anything you guys would recommend, let me know so I can put it in a Tim Recommends. But I think that'll just about do it for this week's episode. So as always, thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next episode. Back to this week. Well, I'll list all... And I tried to... So, I have 6 different feature... I tried to